So Jacob Blue sent me a message on my Discord server saying that he's coming for me in tower points in Duke's Towers of Hell. And he's right, he was catching up to me fast. I had 135 towers and he had 131. Yeah, and then I made this lame excuse so I would feel better about myself, and then he told me to suck it up. Yeah, so we kind of started a war on first to get to 150 tower points, and I totally didn't start it because I thought about the Great Potato War by Technoblade. Yeah, and he was like, bring it on, and then I was like, I'm gonna go play Tower of Double Trouble because I needed to beat that, and yeah, and then we didn't talk about that. Tower of Double Trouble, the first tower I would beat in this race. Now you may be wondering why I even considered doing a soul crushing for the first thing I do in this challenge, because Jacob Blue would see me struggling on it and then he'd have more motivation to beat me. Well, wrong. Tower of Double Trouble is a really easy soul crushing, and with the skip on floor 10, I don't even think it's insane difficulty. In the conversation me and Jacob had in the intro, I actually made fun of him for doing the skip, and I said that I wasn't gonna do it because I wanted to do it legit, but yeah, about that. I just didn't feel like doing this really inconsistent ball jump. I really didn't feel like it, and yeah, I wanted to get this tower done quickly. And I know I'm making it sound like it's not even a big accomplishment on beating this tower, but you know, just your average elite hobbyist here. So then I got to 10C, and then I did this jump and that jump, and then I failed the final jump. Just kidding, I'm not a noob, I easy first tried the jump. So with Tower of Double Trouble out of the way, let's move on to some towers that will actually boost our tower points up quickly. So then I told Jacob about my massive achievement, and then Jacob said that he had something coming for me while I was sleeping. So I assumed that he was going to beat a bunch of towers and I would wake up and he'd have a lot more towers beaten. But I said something else. Now, with a few more hours until day 1 would end, I decided I would try and beat one more tower. Okay, what the hell do I beat? Literally all of these towers that I haven't beaten yet are really bad. I eventually settled with playing some Ring 7 towers because I've actually only beaten one tower, which is Tower of Rushed Buildings, and Ring 7 is kind of when the towers start to get decent, but there's still some pretty annoying towers in there. Tower of Feeling Lazy is the second easiest tower in Ring 7, and since it's only challenging difficulty, I assumed that I could easily beat it. But it was really annoying and there was lots of unfun gameplay. But yeah, I didn't have much trouble with it, it was just kind of boring as well. And this part is just, why would you make this? And why is this an unmarked conveyor? And even when I was walking on it, I didn't think it was a conveyor. I just thought that there was an invisible speed pad that made me slow somewhere. So when I stopped moving, I expected to stop moving because I didn't know it was a conveyor, but it's a conveyor. Yay, that was so fun. Yes, so remember how Jacob Blue said that something was coming for me while I was sleeping? Let's check Discord, and nothing was there. And in this video, I'm not only going to be sharing my perspective, but also Jacob Blue's perspective. He's going to send me screenshots and videos. And he was online today of recording this, and he's in Citadel of laptop splitting. I thought he already beat it. Maybe he's doing the secret ending, but I don't think the secret ending gives a tower point, so I'm confused. On the morning of day 3, I found out that Jacob actually hasn't beaten Citadel of Laptop Splitting yet. So I found out that he beat it just then. And I found out that he also just beat Tower of Distorted Aerodynamics, and he probably got the idea from me. But so far I've beaten 3 towers and he's only beaten 2, so I was doing good. But I had a holiday coming soon which went for 4 days, which would give Jacob time to catch up. And this may seem unfair to me, but it's totally fair, because remember, I started with 4 more tower points than him. So 4 days, he should be able to catch up and maybe even pass me in towers. Okay, this fail is literally so dumb. It's not that hard. Another dumb fail in 3, 2, 1. And then I did another dumb fail on floor 9, but I wasn't recording, sadly. And then I failed that same spinner jump that I showed you earlier a couple of times, and I don't know why it was so hard. So sadly, I beat nothing that day, but it's day 4 now, and let's try and beat that tower again. Alright, we actually made it back first try, and these wraps I actually failed once when I was a noob. I failed that jump once because I did it wrong. And now we are approaching the spinner jump over nothing that I failed so many times, and I don't know why it's so hard. Alright, we're going around the spinner and we're getting ready to jump on the next spinner, and oh, we just missed it. Let's go around again. The spinner is approaching. Yep, back up a little bit, and oh, that was a close one. So basically, when I failed floor 9 on day 3, this happened, but instead of jumping back down to the start of 9, I fell like far down to the start of 7. Okay, I made it to floor 9, and now I'm going to show the entirety of floor 10, because that's what people do when they don't want to show the whole tower, but they want to show that they completed something. So it turns out Jacob actually beat nothing while I was gone, and this was just because he couldn't find any motivation to beat anything, which is perfectly understandable. But it was now day 9, and when I joined him in Ring 8, I found out that he actually beat Tower of Uneasy Scaling. So then I decided I would beat it myself because of the recent changes to the tower that made it much more fun, and it wasn't too bad. But when I got to the final outside of that tower, it turns out Jacob just beat Tower of Amos Anger. But since I beat Tower of Uneasy Scaling, I was now 5 towers ahead of him. And the timed challenges at the end was actually tighter than I expected. And overall, this was more fun to beat than Tower of Orientalating Oscillating Opinions. Going back in time, me, Jacob, and Mochi actually had a discussion about the release of Garden of Ishol while I was still trying to beat Tower of Uneasy Scaling. Now, this discussion was just basically about how Garden of Ishol will give 7.5 tower points if everything in it is completed. And if me and Jacob both get to 142.5 tower points before the release of Garden of Ishol, then it could come down to a race of who could finish all of the steeples and towers in Garden of Ishol first. But I was also so far ahead in towers, I didn't see how Jacob could catch up. Even though I was on holidays for 4 days, I still didn't think the race was that fair. So on the morning of day 10, I asked him something. Hey, for the 150 tower race, do you want to make it so you only have to get 146 tower points to make it fair, since I got a 4 tower head start? True, but I'm 5 towers ahead right now. Well, when I get to 142.5 points, I'm going to stop playing and wait till Garden of East show if it hasn't released by then. Well, I guess it's still a race to 150 towers. Will Jacob catch up, or will I continue on dominating because of my head start and win the race? Well, looks like he's motivated to catch up to me. That's nice. Okay, looks like Jacob has caught up, and now I'm only 1 tower ahead. And although it says he has 138 towers, he actually has 139 because for some reason Citadel of Heights and Depths didn't give him a tower point. But yeah, anyways, I wasn't expecting him to catch up, which is why I offered that he only had to get 146 points to win, and yeah, I guess that he's pretty motivated to beat me right now. So yeah, I went into ring 6, which I've only beaten 3 towers in there, and I just wanted to see what towers I could do. So first I went into the tower of Niflheim because I heard it was a pretty easy remorseless, but I got demotivated quickly. So then I went into something easier, and by easier I mean something easier that wasn't really hated in the community, and I didn't want to do Tower of Inner and Outer Scaling, so I did Tower of Intense Solar Chaos. And this tower was actually pretty odd. For most of it, it was low gravity, and a lot of the time there were very easy jumps that were barely intense. And there were just some random push box sections, and it was in space, and at the end there were some actual intense jumps, and I don't know, it just felt a bit weird, and I'd never seen any of this tower before, and I don't know, it was really easy to beat. But I guess it was pretty fun. Oh, and another thing, the wind pad took 10 minutes to work. I was just waiting there for 10 minutes. I don't know. If I didn't get reassurance that it was eventually going to work, I would have been panicking real bad. And then Jacob just randomly said out of nowhere that he's quitting on the race. I was a bit confused. I think he was just in a time of demotivation because he just thought that he couldn't catch up and stuff. But I don't really blame him. I had the advantage for the entire race, having a 4 tower head start. Okay, I've been talking for a straight minute. Basically, it's day 11 now, and he decided that he was motivated again, but his fingers hurt, so I'm not going to beat anything, but I still want to play JToH, so I'm just going to play Tower of Inevitable Failure for fun, maybe see if I can get far, I don't know. Oh, now he beat Tower of Unhealthy Escalation. Now he beat Tower of Requiring Critical Help. He passed me in towers. Crap. Now, although he passed me in towers, it wasn't too bad. Because he's cleaned up a lot of the easier towers, and I haven't cleaned up some easier towers, I can still catch up. I haven't beaten Citadel of Heights and Depths because I disconnected super far, and I haven't beaten Tower of Guided Trails because it looks super unfun, and I also haven't done everything in Paradise Atoll, so yeah, I could do that. but I wasn't ready to fully commit to beating those towers because I didn't really like them. So I tried something a bit more fun to play, which is Tower of Shifting Slopes. It's kind of repetitive, but I could get it done, and there's a safety net halfway through, and the shift block mechanics could be fun, so I wanted to play it. Yeah, I disconnected on the last floor. It didn't go well. And then Jacob beat another tower, putting him 2 points ahead. And if I didn't disconnect on Shifting Slopes, I would have beaten it. And before this race started, I disconnected on Citadel of Heights and Depths. And if both of those didn't happen, the race would have been tied right now, which sucks. Oh yeah, at this point I basically lost track of all the days, but next day I wake up and I find that he's won on 144 towers. And yeah, it was time to try and beat Tower of Shifting Slopes again. It was pretty difficult, but there was some creative moments. It was a pretty cool tower. I did some dumb fails. And the final jump was really scary, so I just didn't record it because recording makes my computer lag a little bit and I didn't want to risk falling. And then I went up to the final button, pressed it, hoping there wouldn't be a surprise final stretch, and then I won. Now, since at that time Jacob was also far in Tower of Shifting Slopes, he was basically guaranteed to beat it eventually unless he disconnected or something, which I hope happened. And apparently I still wasn't in the mood for beating Citadel of Heights and Depths and Tower of Icy Adventures and some Paradise Atoll towers, so I went into Forgotten Ridge. And we've kind of been throughout this race copying what we're beating, so if Jacob sees me beat something, then he'll beat it. If I see him beat something, then I'll beat. So I'll try to beat Citadel of Weird Nostalgia. Oh yeah, this is another tower that I disconnected far on. I actually disconnected on floor 22 once. So yeah, that's another thing to add to my list of excuses on why I should be winning this race. Ha ha ha. Okay, I beat it. It was actually really easy. I don't know why I couldn't beat it before. Yeah. And now I was inspired to beat more Forgotten Ridge towers. But before I could get to that... What? He's on 146 towers. And I'm pretty sure the Citadel of Heights and Depths point still doesn't count. So it's 147. At this point, I had to accept that he was very close to winning. I was only on 142 tower points. And although I could beat towers, he was just beating them so quickly. This truly is a turnaround. What could I do to stop this? Distract him! Actually, that wouldn't really work because he could just find the time to play JToH. We were playing Obby Creator the other days and he still beat lots of towers. But it was now possibly the final day since Jacob only had to beat 3 more towers. And yesterday he beat 5 towers, so it's very possible that he could win this race today. In order to win, I made a plan of everything I was going to beat in order to overtake him. Hopefully that's enough. I will play JToH non-stop until I win. Just kidding, that's probably a very bad idea that I will deeply regret. So then I went ahead and got to beating Tower of Dangerous Expositions. And all was going well until Jacob joined me. And since he hasn't beaten this tower yet, he was gonna copy me and beat it himself. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't copy me because we've been doing it to each other this whole time. Which is why Jacob stopped telling me the towers that he beat. Anyways, I beat it. It wasn't too hard. There was just some annoying fails. And then there was one of those announcement thingies where all the servers were gonna shut down in an hour or something for an update. And Jacob was still trying to beat it, and the servers were going to shut down in 10 minutes. So Jacob was rushing to beat it, and I was just hoping that Jacob wouldn't be able to beat it in time. Yeah, he beat it. Anyways, I went onto Steeple of Huge Pain, and of course Jacob did it as well. And I struggled on this floor 3 spinner jump, and Jacob beat it before me, but I still beat it. So I was on 145 towers, but he was still very close to winning. So then we went to ring 8 and we both decided to do Tower of Mean tasks. Since there's a safety net every single floor, we thought that'd just be a breeze. Oh boy, we were wrong. After all the pain and suffering, after all the fails, after being trapped in the game, just wanting to quit, but knowing that if we quit we'll have to do everything all over again, we finally beat it. Just kidding, we just died to like these kill brick spinners after like 2 hours of playing, and it's nothing much, just some kill brick spinners. After that, we were both pretty demotivated to play JToH, and it's been a couple of days and we still haven't beaten anything. Jacob was getting really bored of JToH and I couldn't really find anything to beat. Like, I got far on Tower of Eternal Suffering, but died to a trap. I just didn't want to play it anymore. We were both getting really sick of the race. Until he beat his 149th tower. And even though he wasn't motivated to beat anything right now because there was nothing to beat, Garden of Isha was coming out soon and he could just easily beat one easy tower from there and he would win. At this point, the race was basically over.